What's going on, guys? In today's video, I want to discuss a topic, and the topic that I want to discuss is seeing the signs. Let's talk about seeing the signs and the experiences, seeing the signs in our lives that point towards other things that are existing, other things that we are experiencing and involved in as we go through experience to experience. When it comes to seeing the signs, you have to be able to perceive what it is that's occurring in your reality, what it is that's occurring mentally, what it is that is occurring physically, emotionally, spiritually, all encompassing what it is that you're experiencing in your reality. And when you look at the experiences that you go through and you're able to have a perspective on them of, I can see the signs, I can see. And what do I mean by seeing the signs? I mean, like, this thing that I'm aware of, this thing that I'm viewing, is a sign of this being the case, is a sign of this concept being true. So whatever it is that you are dealing with, being able to see certain things that point to certain truths and certain facts that you can tell are proved to be true by the sign that you are seeing, and if you can confirm those, then therefore you are seeing the sign that something is okay, that's true, seeing the sign that something is just, seeing the sign that something is correct. And there could be times where you may have a false sense of a sign or whatever that may be, and we have to, when we're trying to figure out and determine the signs about things that we are dealing with and that we are going through, we have to not be skewed in a way. We have to not be biased in our own ways. We have to be rid of that stuff and be almost detached from ego in order to intend and have the intentions on perceiving what it is that is true and seeing the signs that are true, and to be able to see the signs in the right way toward what is truly the reality of the situation is going to be able to be viewed, but you have to have the right intentions. You have to have the right perspective. You have to go into it with the right mentality, the right ways of going about it as far as physically, emotionally, spiritually. You have to know how to move in these certain ways and in these certain states of beings, and how to perceive certain things that you need to perceive in whatever experience you are experiencing. So seeing signs to anything would be a benefit, because you could be confused about a certain thing and you could see a sign, and then therefore that sign that you saw, now all of a sudden, boom, you're not confused on that topic anymore. Boom, you're not confused on whatever it is that you were pondering, or you're just wondering a thing. And the fact that you are wondering on it, you're already seeing the sign, or possibly on the lookout of, or being able to be aware of a so-called sign that may show you that that this is true and that this is actually a fact. And so seeing the signs is something that is a lot deeper than just what it is that you can see, what it is that you can see mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's almost about what can you sense, subconsciously, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And there's deep levels to it, because the higher the sense that you will pick up on, and the higher senses that you have and are able to pick up on, is going to be a heightened awareness, and it's also going to be a like I said, it's going to be pretty much, a higher awareness of what is going on, therefore being able to perceive and, see the signs of what it is that you're um, involved with, what it is that you are experiencing, what it is that is going on in your reality. And so seeing the signs is really just like having an open mind, being able to see the world as it is when you are experiencing, and have something happen in your experience, or you're becoming aware of something that you're experiencing, and then being able to take away whatever it is that you saw as a sign of what else, okay, out of what I just saw with my eye physically, what can I tell about the situation as far as mentally, emotionally, spiritually, thinking about how certain things are involved with each other, and deriving concepts about these things by using that that ability that you have to, see something and be able to tie it to something truthfully, be able to tie something to it in a realistic manner, in an applicable manner, where you're, creating a mechanism of how you're able to connect one thing to the next, and how that web is structured in all states of beings, in all circumstances, in all experiences that may occur. And when it comes to being able to just see the signs, like something is very close, that something that's coming is almost there, you're almost reaching a goal that you've been achieving for, seeing the sign that you are on the horizon, seeing the sign that you can step out there physically, and you can view and see that you're at a peak, or that you're reaching the pinnacle of an experience, or of a goal, or of a challenge, or something that you're trying to improve on. And therefore, while you're on that peak, you can mentally ponder that you are in an ascended, let's say, perspective, or having that ascended perspective. In that time, you can also feel fulfilled as far as emotionally, as if you've accomplished something at that pinnacle. Then you can also be at a pace, at a state of growth when it comes to spiritually, because you've never been this exact place, an exact moment necessarily, but you've worked towards it, growing each time along the way spiritually. So therefore, all these different events that we experience are woven into the experiences, spiritual, mental, physical, emotional energies and experiences that are happening through these states of beings. So that's why I like to talk about the states of beings as they are, because we as beings experience them, and we know that other beings also have the capabilities to experience these states of beings that are most prevalent to our reality that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. When it comes to these things of having to be aware at all times, and it's just about having a perspective, right? You don't have to be like, you got to know always what's going on mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You should be striving to be a master at these states of beings, so that you can constantly grow, and that you can constantly be a stronger version of yourself. You don't have to neglect a state of being if you are not, let's say, mastering that. Working towards mastering that is probably the start to any burnout when it comes to seeing the sign. Maybe it's time for something to happen. Prior to recording this video, I had to see the sign. I had to be sitting down, telling myself and saying, you know what, never got to making a video. It has been 2 weeks and maybe a day or two. Why haven't you gotten to making a video? It's been a while, Morgan, but I didn't listen to that voice. I came down and I realized I saw a sign where it's the perfect window for me to do this. The moment was nonetheless that moment needed in order to spark what I needed to spark on a so-called, you could say, break from recording. And that's all that was needed, is me to be able to see, like, I can capitalize on this right now physically, because I can get into that mental state of being and also be strong as far as emotionally and spiritually enough to go down there and go record a video, go and talk about what I've needed to talk about. And that was just seeing the signs, right? But still, even when you're seeing something, you could see something and be like, you know what's happening here? I actually think that this is occurring like this, and this might be occurring like this. Take a step back, be at least perceptive of everything and all that is encompassing, and keep that awareness that you have at the position that it can be used at any time to bring up upon that knowledge, to bring up upon that wisdom of knowing, or of having a sense beyond of and seeing the signs of something, to know how things can be swayed mentally, how things can be swayed physically, emotionally, spiritually, just how these states of beings are interacting, and what's being interacted with in these states of beings for when it is occurring, to just know and have that knowledge of, okay, this has transpired, to be able to bring up on any time, to know, hey, to know where you're going, you got to know where you came from. That concept on it of seeing the signs, going into it in depth, and everything of that nature. Stay strong. That's it for this one. Catch you in the next one.